don't think there's a lot to add, needs to be added to what Jemima has said, but may I try and set this argument in a broad political concept, because the last few weeks we've been hearing every day on every news bulletin what's been happening in Tunis, what's been happening in Cairo, and the demand for democracy is expressed all over the world. And this issue of Wikileaks is a very clear example in our society of how that battle can be fought. And I say this because dictatorships are as old as time, and the one characteristic of a dictatorship is that they keep everything secret to themselves, and they want to know all about us. They want to bug our phones, hack our internet, check everything we do, and it is only when everybody knows everything that you can have a true democracy, where the people at the top are accountable for what they've done, and the people at the bottom are free from harassment if they campaign for progressive change. And what Wikileaks has done, and this is where Julian Assange is so important, it put on the web thousands and thousands and thousands of documents which have come from official government sources but have been concealed from the public until now. And therefore it's absolutely essential for us, if we're to have any control over our own destiny, that we know what the government is doing in our name. And if we had known at the time of the Iraq War that the Attorney General said the war was illegal, then undoubtedly public opinion would be much stronger against the Iraq War. And similarly in Afghanistan and elsewhere, things are being withheld from us so that the government can continue to claim that they represent us when they don't represent us. And that is what the Wikileaks argument is all about, with the help of the American Bradley Manning, who gathered all these documents, and then Julian Assange, who put them on Wikileaks. We have a total breakthrough of a kind that is of enormous importance to us if we are to lay any claim to be a genuine self-governing country. Now that is what the issue is, and that's why we're here today, but there are certain aspects of it which I think need to be mentioned, not least that the Swedes are trying to get Julian Assange extradited to Sweden on the grounds that he's guilty of rape. Now, anyone in the left who feels as strongly as I do, and you will do, about sexual equality will take a rape charge very, very seriously. But in effect, and I was in court this morning with Jemima and others watching the trial down at Belmaze, the charge of rape simply doesn't stand up to examination. First of all, the charge is that it was a non-consensual relationship. Well, that's very different from rape, which most people would understand to be the seizure by force of a woman for the gratification of a man's need. And all that is said of Julian Assange is that without using a condom, he was guilty of rape. But if that is the charge, then I tell you a lot of people in this country would be guilty of rape on a daily basis. And so the Swedes are trying to get Julian back to Sweden. Now, of course, if he goes back to Sweden, then the Americans will go in and get him extradited back to the United States, and like Bradley Manning, who began this work, he could easily be put in solitary confinement and denied a fair trial. And then the whole Wikileaks story could be ended, and we'd be back to the secrecy that we are protesting against now. So that case is a very, very important case. I don't know whether Julian is here. I heard a rumour he might be coming. But if he is, I think we should all want to express our gratitude to him for what he has done, because he really has. Himself, and don't ever underestimate the risk that he's undertaken on behalf of this project. He now is faced with the possibility of arrest, extradition, and to be sent to America. And it is America that is mainly concerned to keep secret what it's actually doing. So we must watch the Assange case very carefully. I think it's going on tomorrow to Belmay's court. If whichever way it goes, there may be an appeal, in which case it may not be settled for some time. But if Julian Assange is deported to Sweden, then we will have lost a very, very significant part of this battle that is our battle. And that's why we must give him all the support we possibly can. There are a lot of other issues which are more with dealing with how we are free to operate that also comes up, because as I said, it's not just our right to know what the government is doing, but our right to privacy in what we are planning in our political campaigns. And if our phones are hacked, our computer messages are bugged and tagged, then we are at the mercy of government, because they can use them to destroy us, and therefore we have also to see that our civil liberties are regarded as well. And those are the issues that are at stake. Jemima dealt with them brilliantly, but I think it's very, very important for us to recognise and understand that what we're talking about is not just a dramatic story, which it is, a personal story, which it is, but a story that affects our right to claim that we govern ourselves. And if Tunis and Egypt can take a stand, then we have to do the same here. So I'm very pleased to hear about the meeting in February organised by TUC and Amnesty, because that's an opportunity for us to give solidarity to the Egyptian people at a moment when their battle is hanging and we don't yet know which way it's going to go. But nothing could be more appropriate than to be holding this meeting in the Conway Hall. I speak here, God knows how many times. I was speaking here a couple of weeks ago, and I think many people here today will have been for other meetings, for Palestine, for peace, for social justice. And I think, although we may not be as many as the Egyptians in the square in Cairo, we represent a force of equal importance. And therefore our solidarity for them and the lessons we learn from them for our battles are of huge importance. And I would like to congratulate all the people who've come here tonight, because by coming to this meeting and talking about it to others when it will be discussed, you're making a really significant contribution to alerting British opinion to the issues that are at stake. So congratulations, and thank you for listening so politely to me. Thank you.
Thank you.